Good evening. Good evening, good evening. This is your boy, DJ Tan, right here on Tanitudes. I know I've been out for a minute, but I've been a little sick, so I've been taking some time for myself to get well and to heal. And one of the first notes that I received in my email was about forgiveness. And someone asked, why is it so important to forgive others? And is that the best thing to do? Well, the best thing to do when you are forgiving is you're doing that for yourself. You see, I look at it like this. Happy people are more forgiving than unhappy people. It's kind of strange because their inner positivity helps a person move on. Or does letting go increase positivity? So the answer may be kind of like both. So whether you start out happy or not, forgiving someone for a past transgression can make you feel a lot better. Now, I'm speaking in certain terms because the question was asked by a teenager or a young person, so I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. The thing with forgiveness is fairly simple. Forgiveness is a process over time that includes letting go of negative emotions, negative energy, negative people, negative thoughts and behaviors, and replacing those with positive thoughts and emotions. And behaviors toward the offender or the person that has let you down or hurt you or made you angry with them, any of those, I'm going to call them the offender. Now you have to replace those emotions with something a little bit more positive. That's the way forgiveness works. Now, moving forward, it doesn't mean letting someone off the hook or minimizing a wrong. Forgiveness is not releasing the offender for legal obligation, so to speak. It's not condoning or excusing, which implies there's a justification. It's not forgetting or refusing to remember the event or what happened. It's not reconciling, and which kind of implies there's restored trust and contact. And it's not pretending that everything is fine. In fact, you may never say the words "I forgive you" out loud, at least. Instead, forgiveness is an internal process. It's something you do to help come to terms with a past experience and in your suffering, in your own pain, in your anger and resentment around the event that happened. You simply decide to stop focusing on blame and instead move forward in a more positive direction. It's a gift that you have to give to yourself. Now, of course, forgiving someone who's really, really hurt you is harder than it sounds. Knowing the health benefits can help you. When you forgive, those nagging negative thoughts, man, let me tell you, you feel so much better once you learn the experience of forgiveness, because it shows that you have less fear and anger and depression. Not to mention it improves your sleep. I know before I learned to forgive, I sat up many a nights wondering about people, things, places. I wonder what's going on with that person. I wonder if that person know if I'm mad. Man, let me tell you something. Now I sleep good like a newborn baby with some clean sheets. You see, when you think about the process of forgiveness and when you think about the person or thing, you get a lot of adrenaline and learn how to practice gratitude and mindfulness and meditation. I can't say enough about meditation, which I meditate every single solitary day, 2 or 3 times a day. Being in that moment guides you into a meditative state where you learn to sit back and think about some things and pray about some things and know that everything that you've done for the betterment of yourself. There are people in this world who will try and make you believe all day long that they are who they are because of you. You have people in this world that's going to make you feel like, the events that happened in my life is because of you. It's your fault that this happened to me. It's your fault that these things happen. The reason why this happens is because, you did this. What you have to understand this, my dog. People will throw that guilt trip on you. When I tell you they will throw it on you, they will throw it on you like the championship football game. People have an uncanny weirdness about them to blame their own life on other people. And I've learned in my life that the reason why people do that is because it makes them feel better with themselves. It makes them feel better to blame somebody else for their past. It makes them better to blame somebody else for the things that they didn't accomplish in their lives. It makes them feel better to blame somebody else because they, didn't do what they were supposed to do with their life. So it's sort of like a pass the buck. They're going to pass that old excuse on to somebody else. Oh, the reason why I'm this is because this person did this. Well, really, that's not it at all. The reason why you who you are is because that's who you chose to be. So you got to keep it real. Most importantly, you got to keep drawing upon, the times you've been able to forgive. Each person has their own store of positive forgiveness memories of when they were able to do that tough thing, to forgive someone who hurt them. Remembering how you did this can give you confidence to do it again. Now, let me tell you something. If you keep on running to them same old people where you got to keep playing that I forgive you game, then you need to let go of that circle. If you're involved in a circle of people who you constantly have to keep saying, I forgive you, then you need to let that go. Because sometimes forgiveness is just a form of letting go. Sometimes when you forgive somebody, you have to forgive somebody and just bless them away. Sometimes you have to forgive somebody and say, you know what, I forgive you and have a nice life. It doesn't mean that you're going to say, you know what, I forgive you, but I ain't going to ever forget. No. When you forgive someone, you have to lay it on the table. Just lay it on the line and you let it go. And it's easier to let it go when you are in a room by yourself, in your bed, laying down and talking to God and saying, you know what, God, if you forgave me for all of my sins on a daily basis, who am I not to forgive somebody else? But that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to keep hanging with that same group of people. It just simply means I have forgiven you and I'm on about my life. I'm on about this planet thing called living, and I'm going to keep on living. So if you want to keep on shooing behind my back and doing me wrong, I have forgiven you. So it's all good, and I'm all good, and we're all good, and it's all good. Forgiveness is a challenge. Forgiveness is like homework that you don't want to complete. But eventually, you have to turn it in for your grade. So I would say to all those who are still trying to figure out how to forgive, just close your eyes like you're talking to that person and you say, hey, I simply forgive you just because I don't want this on my shoulder anymore. I don't want to hurt anymore. I don't want to feel bad anymore. I don't want to hate you anymore. So I'm going to forgive you and I'm going to bless you away. You have a nice life. And you keep it moving. That's how it is. This is your boy, DJ 10, right here on Tanner Tubes. If you ever want to discuss something, leave it on in my email, urbansoulneworleans@gmail.com. I will most certainly get back with you, and we will most certainly have a Tannitude to discuss some things. God bless you today. You have a good one. Peace.